you. And welcome to another hour of championship wrestling from Georgia, sanctioned by the National Wrestling Alliance, the oldest and largest sanctioning body of wrestling the world over. Very quickly, let me bring in Ole Anderson, because as we said at the close of last week's program, we had a match in progress. It wasn't over, and the comment was made that that match would be continued.
And it sure will be continued today. We'll be able to see that six-man tag match. And one way or another, we're going to be seeing somebody win and somebody lose right here on TV. That dream match involving Rich and Oates and Lawler, and, of course, the Hollywood Blondes and the television champion, Bob Roop. We've gotten so many cards and letters and so much enthusiasm concerning that merger and everything else, and the $100,000, the tournament, the talent and everything else. I tell you, it's really an exciting time for us, and it's also an exciting time for me to be able to give an opportunity to somebody like I think we're doing when we're talking about giving a guy like Thunderbolt Patterson a chance to wrestle. And we've got an awful lot of comments on it, and I'm sure the people are excited about it and happy, and shortly we'll be able to see that come true.
We will indeed. We're also going to be talking to the millionaire playboy Jimmy Hart is here this evening, and he has some people with him, I might point out, that we're going to find very, very interesting. Right now, though, we're going to take a look at the closing moments of that six-man tag team dream match of last week, and you'll see why we're going to show you the balance of it today. In the event there is not a pinfall or a submission in the six-man tag, we will have a rematch next week, and our time is rapidly disappearing at this point in time, so that looms as a distinct possibility. You'll see this match again next week. Until then, this will be Gordon Soley saying so long from the Peach State of Georgia. Well, that was a short program.
Well, no, it's not over yet. Hang on. We're going to be back, and we're going to be taking...
The party's over, baby. You know, my plane was late, Gordon. I'm sorry I'm late getting here. Come on, Ole, don't walk off. Come on, Ole, come on back, baby. Come over here. You know what? This is probably the greatest day of my life,
Hart,
baby.
by the way.
This is going to be, baby, the new kid on the block. You're looking at him right now, and I've got the greatest array of talent in the history of professional wrestling. We call it the First Family, the Force. Hey, you better start liking it, baby, because I'm going to be around here for a long time. Come here, I want you to listen to this. Oh, you know, I heard you out here talking, running your mouth. I think the merger's fantastic. And I think traveling all over the world is great, too, baby, because we've been there 3 and 4 times over. But you know something I don't like? Out here seeing you whining and crying a couple of weeks ago talking about Thunderbolt Patterson. Man, the only thing holding him up is his varicose veins. You know it, and I know it. And he's through. You understand that? And Ronnie Garvin hands the paper. Ronnie Garvin, the national heavyweight champion. That's got to be a joke. These are the New York Assassins. I've got my nightmares. I've got King Kong Bundy. I've got some of the greatest talent in the world today, baby. And we are here to stay. You understand that? So you better move over, baby, because a new dog is moving in. You look nice. We might even keep you with the program here, baby. How you like that, Ole, huh? How you like it, baby?
Brother. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what.
Get on the block. I can't wait. I can't. Send me some changes around here because, like I said before, I've got the money. I can get the best talent in the professional wrestling today, Ole.
Well, that's marvelous. I'm completely underwhelmed. But right now we have a special word for all of you. And the tag is made. Brad Armstrong moves in. Tim Horner makes the tag again, and so the Assassins tagging in and out, but so are Horner and Armstrong. And Horner and Armstrong, frankly, a real well-oiled tag team machine. Upper arm bar, but the Assassin broke that up with brute strength alone. Single leg pickup by Brad Armstrong into a lateral press. And it is the Assassin powering him off. Front chancery now by Brad Armstrong. Horner. Rolling reverse by Horner. Well executed. Referee is Nick Patrick. And you can see Jim Hart complaining to the referee. Look at the extra leverage the Assassin was getting that time. And a forearm across the chest. Horner catching an elbow and then a forearm across the thoracic area of the back, and it is now another elbow to the top of the head. So they're jarring the skull pretty good on Tim Horner right now. Horner jammed into the turnbuckle. And the crowd here at the Television Sports Arena picking up a chant, "Go, Tim, go." Horner, high backdrop. He's in trouble now. He's got some problems. Horner firing to the midsection, fires again, slips to the leg, makes the tag. Brad Armstrong charges into the ring. One to the midsection, one under the jaw. Irish whip off the rope. High backdrop once again. The assassin makes the tag. I'll tell you what, they tag in and tag out, too. These are a double dangerous combination, no question about that. Of course, all of these men have one thing in mind, too, and that's that big $100,000 tournament upcoming. All four of them in the ring now at one time. And Horner and Armstrong faring extremely well against these New York assassins. And it is Horner connecting with a hard right hand. He's got the assassin staggered and now gets it caught from behind. A bullet-like punch to the back of the head and another one to the back of the head, and it is Horner down and in trouble. Horner smashed into the assassin's turnbuckle. And now it is Horner in trouble. Horner ripping right hand to the midsection, another one to the side of the jaw, makes the tag. Brad Armstrong moves in. Armstrong staggers his man. A good forearm. And that one was a solid right hand to the midsection. Another forearm, and Brad Armstrong closing in on the assassins, putting more and more pressure on him. Excellent tag team match thus far. And remember, we've got a six-man tag going later. A quick double teaming here on the assassin, puts him back down. Powers out before the count, however. Referee Nick Patrick down there, tolling the count very quickly. There's a front chance lead. And we've got a four-way melee going here right now. And much of it, I would have to say, is at the direction of Jim Hart. Brad Armstrong hurtled out of the ring by the assassin. Armstrong caught and dropped. Armstrong brought up once again, and they have him on a backbreaker this time. Armstrong powers out before the count. They've got Armstrong in trouble now as they keep that bear hug on him, and Jimmy Hart continues to encourage his men. Now they jam him into the turnbuckle. And Brad Armstrong in serious strife here. Again, Irish whip into the turnbuckle. And so the assassins now really beginning to take the measure here on Brad Armstrong and Tim Horner.
Well, Hart's got himself some people out of New York, I guess, that are going to straighten things around. We just have to listen to Hart. Reminds me of a lot of people I'm not too happy with.
Well, I can understand that. And, all right, once again now back into the corner, and it is one to the abdominal wall, another one into the chest, and Brad Armstrong in trouble. The tag is made. The second assassin moves in. They quickly double team before the count, and it's Brad Armstrong in the center Irish whip off, and wow! From a full bear hug into a power slam. Look at Armstrong slip away from that. Beautiful move by Brad Armstrong. Makes the tag with Tim Horner, and Tim Horner comes exploding into the ring. Horner giving everything he's got now and catches the other assassin as he moves in. And so it is Tim Horner, very much in command of the situation. And so if these assassins thought they had things going their own way, they can think again. Tim Horner being double-teamed now. Horner being double-teamed by the assassin. And the referee disqualifying him. And so Jimmy Hart being told to get the assassins out of there. They were disqualified. And so the winners of the match via disqualification, the team of Brad Armstrong and Tim Horner.
Well, look, hey, Garvin, hey, look at the belt. He brought the belt with him, guys. How convenient. You know, Garvin, what I want to know, baby, is how come you're dodging the first family? You know, we want a shot at that National Heavyweight Championship belt. Now, I want to know, you're in a big tag team tournament. Let me tell you something, pal. these are the New York. Oh, I see you've got company coming out here. Oh, okay.
Well, okay, thank heavens we do have some company out here. Well, all right. Hey, thank you, Wahoo. I appreciate you coming out. It looked like we were going to have a bit of a problem here.
Well, we don't have a problem. You know, I'm here to help anybody see they get a fair chance. And I notice you haven't mentioned that I'm the U.S. heavyweight champion. This man is the national heavyweight champion. And
I'll tell you what, those, there is indeed.
Because he knows he's a champion himself, and I respect him a lot, and I'm grateful he came out here, so there's no problem on a television set. And
well, Gordon, don't interrupt me. You'd be surprised at what a man like me would do for money.
Well, it is Ronnie Garvin being attacked now by Wahoo McDaniel and put into bad shape indeed. And we're going to have to have something done here as Wahoo McDaniel continues to punish Ronnie Garvin. We'll be back. We'll be back in just a moment. Make up my mind whatever caused Wahoo McDaniels to do something like he did just now.
Well, let me tell you, Gordon, it looked great to see Garvin laying out over this floor. Let me tell you, the one man on my hit list is gone. Thunderbolt Patterson, Jerry Lawler, Tommy Rich, all of you, baby, you can run, but you can't hide. Now, right here, I've got a contract, as you can see. Wahoo McDaniels, his name is on the dotted line. All we need is Ronnie Garvin's, baby. Ronnie Garvin's. Ready, Wahoo, baby? My champion. Woo, he looks great. He looks great.
Well, all right.
You seem to be a little shook up, Gordon Soler. You've probably known me longer than anybody. You know, I haven't changed my style of wrestling at all. I've just speeded up a little bit. You know, everybody was good to put their arm around the Indian. Take the Indian with you when you go partying. He's a good driver. But when he wants a title match, leave him alone because he's crazy. Well, I'm going to tell you something, Ronnie Garvin. You got something I want, and I intend on coming and getting it. And I hear a lot of these people saying traitor and everything. All I've done is make the Indian a first-class citizen. Finally, number one citizen. And I'm going to tell you, like I tell the rest of them, Garvin, I'm going to win any way I can, and that's what exactly I mean. And if any of these people think I don't mean it, if you meet me outside this studio, don't be afraid to come up and challenge me. I'll take you on anywhere. In a beer joint, on the street, in the ring, I don't care, because I am a champion.
Champion, baby.
Garvin, that's just a
You've made
sample
your
of what
point.
I'm going to give
You've
you.
made your point, Wahoo McDaniel. All right, let's go to the ring, please. Jason Walker, and so I do have in front of me a contract with Wahoo McDaniel's signature. I'll be curious to see if Ronnie Garvin chooses to answer that call. Good takedown by Jason Walker. Another one by Walker that has Mr. Ito beginning to wonder what's happening to him. A third spin under that takes him off his feet. I want to say a very special hi to Trish Earls, and also to all of our NWA friends up in Saginaw, Michigan. Had some real helpful folks up in Saginaw. We appreciate it.
What do you think of my martial arts champion right there, eh? Nobody's mentioned that $100,000 Thanksgiving tournament with me and my partner, Mr. Ito. We're going to take all that money home, Gordon, all that money. My partner knows all the tricks that I've told him.
Well, that's marvelous. Ox Baker is the voice you're hearing overwhelming this microphone at this particular time. Meanwhile, it's Mr. Ito in behind Jason Walker, standing reversed by...
Look at that move. You did not even see that move. You know, this Mr. Ito, I don't think he's unbeatable. With me, with a tag team partner, knocking people down, kicking people. What a great tournament. And then I get $100,000 to win and do.
Interesting observation on the part of Ox Baker. Meanwhile, it's Mr. Ito with an inside armbar on Jason Walker. Notice the way he's utilizing that knee to the side of the head and punishing Jason Walker. We're going to be seeing some other great matches here as we move along, but right now Mr. Ito seems to have things pretty well under control with Jason Walker. Walker is in the green trunks. Walker, good move by Walker. Excellent move by Walker as he reverses on Mr. Ito. Now has a full arm drag and twist on him. Going down to trying to get into a bottom wrist lock, and Mr. Ito drives the knee to the midsection. And it's Ito using a headbutt to the side of the head of Jason Walker, then the flat of the foot into the chest. And a good forearm by Mr. Ito that puts Jason Walker back to the canvas. Ox Baker talking about this big $100,000 annual one-night elimination tournament upcoming in the near future. And he and Mr. Ito, of course, would be quite a team indeed. Mr. Baker, I might... Good move by Jason Walker. Excellent move. Almost had Ito into a pinning combination. Mr.
He
Baker...
was way too tough for just that one big move, I'm telling you.
Well, that remains to be seen. The point being that Mr. Baker, of course, is barred from wrestling on television. So, some of the unnecessary roughness that he's used on opponents in the past, particularly with that Hart punch. All right, Ito brings him up. Full body slam on Jason Walker. Walker's got some problems now. Ito in complete control of the situation at the moment. Referee Nick Patrick down there checking to his shoulders. No pinning combination that time. I must say that Wahoo McDaniel certainly has surprised me with this attitudinal adjustment. And Ito, it looked to me like that was a thumb or a karate thrust into the throat of Jason Walker. And Mr. Walker is in a lot of trouble here with Mr. Ito. Ito, the forearm across the back. Walker up against those ring ropes. Ito, an Irish whip now, catches him coming off high backdrop. And again, Ito closes in using those bare feet very, very effectively. Rear chin lock now, and that looks like it's dangerously close to the throat area.
He likes the punishment. That's why I like him. He loves to punish his opponents. I like that when you can punish a man.
Again, the voice of Ox Baker. Talking about punishing people, and he has punished plenty in his career in professional wrestling. All right, the referee checking, and it was not a choke. Down beneath the chin, and now, again, twisting the head of one Jason Walker. Obviously, you control the head, you control the body. There's no question about that. And it is Mr. Ito being forced back into the turnbuckle now. Jason Walker explodes to the midsection, catches him again. Walker using that forearm right at the belt line. Irish whip that has it, and Ito caught him coming in with a chop into the throat. And that's going to spell a lot of trouble for one Jason Walker. Mr. Ito. Down across the chest. A full his full weight down across the chest, and so Mr. Ito emerges as the victor in this match.
Still, they bar Ox Baker from wrestling on TV, but I can tell you, sooner or later, someone is going to have to pay the price.
Thank you very much. Let me take a moment right now to talk to the Hollywood Blondes. They, of course, are the National Tag Team Champions.
Well, you know something, Gordon? When a merger like this happens, it all comes together. My partner and I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. By that, I mean we are the National Tag Team Champions. And we're up on top of the heap, and we're looking down at everybody. You know, there's a big $100,000 tournament coming up. It's about time I bought myself a new Mercedes anyhow. And that $50,000 on my part and $50,000 on my partner's part would sure come in handy. Who would you say is favored?
Well, I would certainly have to say that obviously as the National Tag Team Champions that you two would have to be looked on as the favorites.
Well, that's all I wanted to hear. Thank you.
Mr. Rogers?
What I'm saying, Gordon, so is that we are the favorites because we are the National Tag Team Champions. And all those cities out there with cards and letters saying we want to see the Hollywood Blondes, like Baltimore and Cleveland, Saginaw, Grand Rapids, everywhere when you see the Hollywood Blondes. I'm telling you one thing, cities, keep on writing because you just might see us because we're the National Tag Team Champions. Woo!
Thank you so very much. And now let's listen to this very, very special word. There's an action right now, and this will be our first opportunity here on Championship Wrestling from Georgia to see the Nightmares in action, so it should prove interesting indeed. By the way, happy birthday to Bill Lassiter. Hit 21 today, huh? Okay. All right, we're waiting now for, all right, it's Rufus R. Jones and Ted Allen moving into the ringside area right now and getting into the ring. And we're waiting now for the Nightmares to make their appearance. They, of course, are managed again by Mr. Jim Hart, and here they come at this time. 1 fall, 10-minute time limit. Well, they're pretty impressive looking with their cloaks as they enter the ring. All right, waiting now for the bell to ring. Jimmy Hart, some last words of, and there's the freight train. Rufus Jones, and it is Ted Allen moving out against the Nightmare first. Nightmare one, high waistman takedown, so this man obviously knows where he's coming from. They lock up once again. Ted Allen brings him up against the ring ropes, an Irish whip by Ted Allen. And the Nightmare up and over his man, leapfrog by Allen. Allen, good spin under takedown. And a wing over that time. And again, the tag is made. And the freight train moves in. Rufus R. Jones, the freight train, moves into the ring. And so the Nightmares don't look quite so anxious now. Nightmare caught him in the stomach, catches him once again. And a reversal now by Rufus R. Jones, catches him. High backdrop. And the Nightmare more than anxious to tag out. All right, back into the turnbuckle now. The Nightmare drives that knee lift into the midsection of Rufus R. Jones, catches him once again. Referee Nick Patrick is going to have his hands full with this pair, I can tell you that. Rufus R. Jones now retaliating in kind. And the Nightmare is down, and he's stunned, and he's got to be thinking things over once again. Rufus Jones keeping the pressure on him, now makes the tag with Ted Allen. Ted Allen moves in. Good fireman carry takedown by Allen. Keeps the full arm drag and twist. Tag is made. The second Nightmare moves in, and a good wing over takedown now by Ted Allen. The wing over is when you bring the weight forward. The spin under is when the forward momentum takes him down. Another wing over that time by Ted Allen. All right, the Nightmare getting back to his feet now, and it is Ted Allen keeping the pressure on as they move off the ropes. Good rolling reverse now by Ted Allen. Broken up by the second Nightmare. Hooks him into looked like he was going for a backslide, but they're double teaming on him. And Rufus R. breaks that up, but Ted Allen took a lot of punishment very, very quickly there from the Nightmares. He's staggered now. And again, they double team. They're as clever a team as I've ever seen for double teaming a man. Down across the chest. Overhooking the head now, and a tag is made once again. Allen comes off the ropes, and once again they double team. That was before the break, and an extra shot in there. And now the referee threatening both the Nightmares with possible disqualification. They're using those elbows repeatedly into the chest. Allen powers out again, however, before the count. Allen now to the midsection, but the Nightmare breaks it up with a high knee lift into the midsection. And a chop into the throat. Allen hanging onto those ring ropes. Allen now exploding with good solid right hands. And he could have these Nightmares in trouble, but they make the tag and keep him trapped in their corner. And referee Nick Patrick admonishing him about that 4 count. Allen catches the Nightmare coming in, but takes more punishment to be right between the shoulder blades. And Allen caught him with a knee that time. Allen makes the tag. The freight train rolls back in, and the freight train explodes now on the Nightmares. The freight train. He has given them some double business now, that's for sure. The freight train very much in command of the situation once again. Tags up with Ted Allen. Allen back in there, and Nightmare's got himself some problems again. He powers out before the count, however. Short chopping right hand. That punch did not have much authority. Full body slam into a lateral press by Allen. He hooks the far leg. Nightmare powers out of it. Tripped up. Ted Allen tripped up by Jimmy Hart. The referee was not aware of it. And Rufus R., the freight train, is after Jimmy Hart. Jimmy Hart. And Jimmy Hart beating a hasty retreat with Rufus R. Jones right after him. And that has left Ted Allen in a dangerous spot. Ted Allen in trouble here. They've got him double-teamed. And it is Ted Allen in trouble. They bring him up for the backbreaker. And, ooh, no. Coming off the ropes was the second Nightmare, and they've got Allen, and they're even grabbing those trunks, getting some extra leverage. Well, the Nightmares beat a rather hasty retreat from the ring, but they are indeed the winners of the match over Ted Allen and Rufus R. Jones, the freight train.
You run your big mouth, that's fine. I was just chased down to Peachtree Street by Rufus R. Jones. But I'm telling you, baby, you ain't gonna make it around here. This place ain't big enough for the first family professional wrestling, and you, baby, you are finished. You are washed up. You and Ole Anderson stood out here several months ago, baby, several weeks ago, whining and crying. You want to hit me, don't you? You want to hit me, don't you? Knock the chip off, baby. Come on, come on.
You got a problem.
Come on, baby.
But I will whoop your... Oh, no, baby.
Hey, man.
You got
Not here, please.
Everything that you get, I will whoop you and eat you for dinner.
Hey, baby, you got the problem. And it's Jimmy Hart in the first
Mr. Hart, may I
and
suggest
you
you
me out
leave,
here.
sir?
I've got the family watching behind the door, baby.
No,
I suggest you leave,
you
Mr.
are
Hart.
finished. You are through, baby.
People like you
are through, baby.
have problems.
Oh, brother, he does have a problem.
This is a new day. I've been through mess like that from... I'm so full because it all started here. Now he's running up to New York. Now, you know, we talk about New York. You know what that's all about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, ain't nobody. You hear what I say? Ain't nobody gonna do a...
Yep, careful. This heavyweight champion, Wahoo McDaniel, getting set to move out against Terry Ellis. 1 fall, 10-minute time limit. Wahoo McDaniel, who has certainly changed his thinking. Now he wants to win and win at any cost, and he doesn't care what people think about him, apparently. He has been in the past a very considerate type person, but he's always been, when it comes to that squared circle, he's always been a Pier 6 wrestler. Full arm drag and twist now by Wahoo McDaniel, just keeping Ellis at bay. Using those feet very effectively. Snapmare that takes Ellis back to the canvas. And a chop right into the forehead of Terry Ellis. Another chop into the throat of Terry Ellis, and Wahoo McDaniel stays in complete command. Another tomahawk chop to the side of the throat of Terry Ellis. And off the ropes, and Ellis caught again. Wahoo McDaniel. Inverted press. Count of three. Count of three, it is all over. Count of three, and Wahoo McDaniel victorious over Terry Ellis in short order indeed. He is the U.S. heavyweight champion. We have another matchup coming here momentarily, and we're going to see a couple of young fellows that I've heard an awful lot about, and I'm really looking forward to seeing them in action, referring to Tim Ashley and Steve Constance. And as soon as they get out into the ring after we get Terry Ellis squared away and moved out, we'll be seeing this tag team match. And I'll tell you what, while we're waiting on that, let's take a look at... no, here they come now. We have our competitors coming out into the ring at this time. Ollie Bay and Mike Starbuck getting set to move out against these two young men from Louisville. Tim Ashley and Steve Constance. There's Ollie Bay and Mike Starbuck, and there you see Ashley and Constance. And brother, Ollie Bay and Mike Starbuck didn't waste any time. They charged right in, hitting both Constance and Ashley with everything they've got. So I guess they figured their best defense here is a very, very aggressive offense, and that's exactly what they've got going. Good drop kick, and it is... these two young fellows, both out of Louisville, Kentucky, they've held impressive weightlifting records, bodybuilding contest records. Both were outstanding football, baseball players, and wrestlers. And we're certainly seeing an example of that right now. And it is Lawler. Watch this atomic knee drop. We've got all four of them in there at one time, and a drop kick that sends Ollie Bay through the ropes. And a beautiful power slam. Beautiful power slam by Tim Ashley. I'll tell you what. Brother, what a tag team combination. From now on, as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to call these two fellas, Steve Constance and Tim Ashley, I'm going to refer to them as the Louisville Sluggers, because believe me, they are. Jerry Lawler, Jerry Oates, and Tommy Rich getting set to move into the ring against the Hollywood Blondes, Ted Oates, Rip Rogers, and the national television champion Bob Roop. This is a continuation of that six-man tag team dream match we had last week, that, well, we just frankly ran out of time. So we're going to put them back in action right now. One fall with television time remaining. Your referee continues to be Nick Patrick. All right, waiting now for the bell to ring. There's the bell. And it's Jerry Oates moving out very quickly against Bob Roop. Roop, good forearm and a good reversal here by Jerry Oates. And Oates caught him in the side of the ribcage. Oates going for a quick pin. And Roop powered out, but it was Oates going for a very quick pin. Now it's Ted Oates moving in there. And tremendous deep-seated animosity between these two. And it's Ted Oates taking a high hip toss. Oates staggers into the wrong corner. Caught by Tommy Rich, and now has to face Jerry the King Lawler. All right, Rip Rogers getting set to move out now. They are co-holders of the National Tag Team Championship. And it's Rogers bullying Lawler back in. Aha, caught him on the break. And it's Lawler retaliating in kind. Lawler has him up a full body slam. And it's Tommy Wildfire Rich moving in. They quickly double team Rogers, and they catch him. Rogers staggered, drops to the canvas, and it's Tommy Wildfire Rich right after him. Now the tag is made. Ted Oates moves in. So it's Wildfire against Ted Oates, and it's Wildfire very quickly getting that side headlock. Off the ropes, and a good shoulder smash by Wildfire. Tommy Rich catches him once again. This time he comes down on the base of the skull. Now across the prefrontal lobe, and Oates has got himself some problems. That brain's going to be short-circuited here, and he's back in the wrong corner once again. All right, Oates in a neutral corner. Trying to get it together. Locks up, collar and elbow. Look at duck under, go behind, and a tag by Ted Oates to Bob Roop, and Bob Roop moves in. Roop catches Tommy Wildfire Rich on the belt line, clubs him to the side of the head. Once again, the tag is made. Jerry Lawler moves in. Lawler staggers him. Hard chopping right hand. Roop rips across the eyes. Roop has him up a full body slam. Off the ropes, and it is Roop caught by Rich and staggered. Lawler brings him up a full body slam once again on Bob Roop. Roop, of course, the national television champion, caught now by Jerry Oates as Oates made the tag. And it is Bob Roop taking a lot of punishment. Now he makes the tag. It's Ted Oates moving out. They're moving out against his adversary, Jerry Oates. Ronnie Garvin has joined me here at the desk.
You know, Gordon, what Wahoo McDaniel has done, it would make a lot of great Indians turn over in their grave, believe me. And I think Jimmy Hart is just a low-life individual. Well, they want to wrestle me for the title for the National Heavyweight Championship. Here's a contract that he left at the desk, and I'm signing it right now, and I'll wrestle the man anywhere, any place. We'll find out who the better man is, Gordon.
Fair enough, and he did exactly that. He signed the contract. And so Ronnie Garvin has answered the challenge as I thought he would. I could not imagine Ronnie Garvin not answering that kind of a challenge, particularly when he was Pearl Harbored the way he was by Wahoo McDaniel. So my congratulations to Ronnie Garvin, and that's going to be quite a match. The U.S. heavyweight champion going up against the national heavyweight champion. Brother. Oates in trouble, and Tommy Wildfire Rich issuing some more punishment. And Rich getting the side headlock. Look at Oates. Belly to back souffle, and that one caught Tommy Rich in the back of the head. Rich is in a lot of pain now. And the tag is made. Rip Rogers moves in, plants the foot into the abdominal wall of Tommy Rich. And so Rip Rogers, Ted Oates, and Bob Roop seem to have things beginning to go their way. They block Rich from getting over to make that tag, and it is Roop connecting with a hard right hand. And Roop gets a side headlock on him. It's Roop connecting again with a hard right hand. And it's Rich tying up Roop now. As, well, it was really Roop tying Rich up as Rich was trying to get over and tag. Ted Oates is in there, and it is Tommy Wildfire Rich catching him with the elbow, trying to get over and make that tag. Tripped up by Ted Oates, and Rip Rogers moves in. And so Tommy Rich is in desperate straits, but he gets over, he makes the tag. Jerry Oates exploding now on Rip Rogers. Jerry Oates, an Irish whip, catches him. Coming off the ropes, and Rogers is down. The lateral press by Jerry Oates. Rogers powers out before the count. Jerry Oates brings him up once again, a full body slam. And again, it is Jerry Oates. Riding herd now on Rip Rogers. Jerry Oates, of course, one-time co-holder of the National Tag Team Championship. Back on their feet, referee Nick Patrick warning Ted Oates to get back into his corner. Look at Bob Roop getting some extra leverage. And Jerry Oates has been tripped up here. Jerry Oates in trouble now as Ted Oates has the bear hug on him, makes the tag. They're keeping Jerry Oates tied up as Bob Roop moves in. Roop brings him up. There's a backbreaker on Jerry Oates. And look at the extra pressure he's putting on him now. Roop straining as he bends that back further and further backwards. Jerry Oates trying to come out of it. And it is Roop utilizing his legs and keeping him tied up. And once again, Rip Rogers now with the flat of the foot. Irish whip, and it is Jerry Oates. Drops to the canvas on a high backdrop, gets over, makes the tag, and it's Jerry King Lawler moving in. Lawler connecting solidly. And it's Rip Rogers in trouble now as Lawler catches him. A good hard right hand right between the eyes. And now Rogers smashed into the knee of one Tommy Wildfire Rich. Lawler again brings him up. Full body slam on Rip Rogers. And there's Tommy Rich scoring effectively against Rip Rogers. Time beginning to run out in this hour of championship wrestling from Georgia. But I can assure you, we're seeing a tremendous match here in this six-man tag team dream match. Beautiful drop kick by Tommy Wildfire Rich on Ted Oates. Rich makes the tag with Jerry the King Lawler. Lawler moves in. He catches Oates coming in. Oates driven backwards makes the tag. And again, it's Bob Roop moving out against Jerry the King Lawler. A side headlock. Fires him off. High knee into the chest of Bob Roop, or of Jerry Lawler, rather. And it is Roop trying to dominate the situation there. Clubbing right hand that caught Lawler on the side of the jaw. put him down. Those eyes glazed for a moment, and he is rocked again. Lawler fires back, tags up. Jerry Oates in the ring. Jerry Oates, 1, 2, into the midsection, 1 to the side of the jaw. And it is Roop bullying Roop bullying Oates back into the corner. And now the punishment starts on Jerry Oates. And now, wait a minute, we've got them all in the ring. We've got all 6 men in the ring at one time. And a 6-way melee going here. Rich has been knocked from the ring, and it is Ted Oates, and they're battling it out outside the ring. And time continues to run down. Lawler catching Rip Rogers. And Tommy Wildfire Rich catching Ted Oates. And it's Lawler catching Bob Roop. He got the pinfall. He got the pinfall. We've had all 6 men in the ring. He got the pinfall, and so there you see an elated Jerry Oates, Jerry Lawler, and Tommy Wildfire Rich as they did score the pinfall on Bob Roop. There was no...
That isn't right. Jerry Lawler, you made a bad mistake. You made a bad mistake doing that. That's not right. It won't stand up. You won't like something else again. You don't like this. You're not going to like next week. Because the next week, you're going to be wrestling Mr. Lawler for your TV title. No way!
Okay, there you have it. Next week, Bob Roop defends his title against Jerry the King Lawler. That's all our time until next week. So long from the Peach State of Georgia. Welcome indeed. I'm Gordon Stoley, and welcome to another hour of championship wrestling from Georgia. And we have a very spirited crowd here at the television sports arena. And, brother, we do have some exciting things upcoming because Bob Roop will be forced to defend his national television championship today here on the program, as you heard last week from Ole Anderson. Let me bring Ole in because that is a crucial match indeed for Mr. Roop.
Well, it sure is. You know, he didn't like it. He was upset about the results. But that's the way it's going to be, Mr. Roop. You're just going to have to get in that ring, and you're going to have to do the best you possibly can against one of the best doggone people in wrestling today, Jerry the King Lawler.
Amen. That's upcoming. And right now I want to bring in Brad Armstrong because I know he's got some thoughts on his mind.
Well, you know, Gordon, there's a lot of things happening, and there's a lot of excitement in the air, and I'm excited about it, and everybody is, because there's a lot of faces we haven't seen in a while, and a lot of new faces around, and there's Hey, well, don't be too excited, Big Brad. Let me tell you something, baby. When we get through with you, you're on my hit list, too, baby. You're going to need some Blue Cross Blue Shield. Tommy Rich, before it's over with, Gordon's going to be wearing this neck brace like I had to wear. I've got all the money in the world, baby. I can buy anything or anybody. I've got the biggest, baddest wrestlers in professional wrestling today. Jerry Lawler, Jimmy Valiant, you bring them all on. Look at this, baby. Wahoo McDaniel's going to be my next champion. You understand that? Garvin fell right into our trap. It's going to be the greatest day of my life, baby. We're going to get rid of everybody. I'm the new kid on the block, baby. And don't forget, I like you, man. I'm going to keep you with us. I'm going to keep you with us, baby. You, Rich, it's going to be over for you, Tommy Rich, baby.
All right, let's go to the ring and against New York Assassins moving out against Johnny Horton and Rocky King, and that's Horton that they're attacking now. And Horton barely had a chance to get moving, and they were all over him. No question about that.
You know, Gordon, I love you, man. I'm going to keep you with us when I take this whole organization over. Don't these guys look great, baby? The New York Assassins. What do you think about them?
Well, they're an awesome team. There's no question about that. We'll find out after this match is over.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, there's no doubt about this. It's the greatest team I've ever had in my life. The whole First Family. I've got my nightmares. Hot Stuff, Eddie Gilbert, King Kong Bundy. I'm bringing them all down, baby. We're going to rule the whole professional wrestling. A lot of people have said that before, baby, but Jimmy Hart, when he speaks, everybody listens. I can't wait, Gordon.
And a hyper Jimmy Hart. No question about that. Rocky King moving against the Assassins. Brother, King caught and dropped that time. Those elbows are exceptionally effective. King caught on the back now, so these Assassins are double teaming and have King in trouble again. And they are wasting no time in meting out every bit of possible punishment that they can.
This right here, baby, this looks like Thunderbolt Patterson and Ole Anderson, doesn't it? Look at them up there, baby. This is exactly what's going to happen to them. I can't wait. My dream match. I can't wait for it.
I'll tell you what, Mr. Hart is as vociferous and as stays constantly excited, that's for sure. They got the 3 count. They got the 3 count on Rocky King. And so the New York Assassins emerge victorious along with their manager, Mr. Jimmy Hart. And we've got another matchup coming here momentarily. I would like to remind all of you, of course, that big tournament is upcoming. And interesting comments from Ole Anderson and, of course, Thunderbolt Patterson. The fact that you're going to see them as a tag team combination, obviously, in my opinion, because Ole Anderson said no matter where you go, you're going to find him with him. So, Chief Wahoo McDaniel, the U.S. heavyweight champion, getting set to move into the ring now. Moving out against Jason Walker, 1 fall with a 10-minute time limit. Wahoo McDaniel removing that U.S. heavyweight championship. It was just last week, of course, that Wahoo McDaniel came out here and really betrayed what I considered a friendship.
Look at him, Gordon. Look at this, baby. Just pretend that's Ronnie Garvin up there. Look at him. He's going up for the slam. Look at this. There's a big knee. 1, 2, 3. Look at this. Look at him. Stop. He pulled him back up. Pulled him back up, Gordon. Pulled him back up.
Yeah, he did indeed. And as I say, Mr. Hart keeps himself going about 75 miles an hour. Somebody's going to have to explain to him about the speed limit of 55. And it is Jason Walker catching it again. And again, Wahoo McDaniel just punishing Mr. Walker. By the way, for television reservations, and we will be televising again on the 14th here at the studios, and the number to call to make those reservations in advance, admission is free, is area code 404-961-1649. Area code 404-961-1649. Well, there's the pinfall. There's the pinfall, and so Wahoo McDaniels, the U.S. heavyweight champion, certainly wipes out young Jason Walker, and, well, let's have another word or two from this man.
Guess who's coming to dinner, baby? Back again. You know what? I listened back in the back. I was watching. I heard poor old Thunderbolt Patterson, Ole Anderson out there. The only thing holding him up, baby, is their very close veins. And I heard him out here using a little crying towel, crying, all the tears running down their eyes. Let me tell you something, Ole. I want you to dig back in that old antique closet of yours and dust off those wrestling boots and those wrestling tights. Because you know what's going to happen when these two men right here hit him? He's going to have a heart attack and grab his heart and fall over in the middle of the ring. That's exactly what's going to happen, Gordon. Let me tell you, I will not be responsible on what these men do to you. You understand that? These are the greatest team in the history of professional wrestling today. Jimmy Hart, the first family. We're ready. I just might bring some tar and feathering, baby, and do a little tar and feathering on Ole Anderson and Thunderbolt Patterson. We can't wait, baby. The new kids are on the block. Come on, guys. Let's go, baby.
I'll tell you one thing. If they can wrestle as good as he can talk, Ole and Thunderbolt might be in trouble, but...
To the Omni in Atlanta on Sunday, November 18th. Match time is 8 p.m. The National Heavyweight Championship goes on the line. Ronnie Garvin defending against Chief Wahoo McDaniel. And then Jimmy Hart's New York's Assassins take on Ole Anderson and the return of Thunderbolt Patterson. Plus, the $100,000 annual tag team tournament, one-night elimination. You'll see such stars as Buzz Sawyer and Tommy Rich, Brad Armstrong and Tim Horner, the Hollywood Blondes, the Road Warriors, Mr. Ito and Ox Baker, Bob Roop and Jake Roberts, Jerry Lawler and Jimmy Valiant, the Long Riders, and more. For tickets, call 681-2100. Go with the best. Go with the NWA Sunday, November 18th, the Omni in Atlanta.
Rufus, the Freight Train Jones, going up against Mike Starbuck, and it is Rufus R. Jones closing in on him. Rufus R. moves away from him. Starbuck caught by Jones, and I'll guarantee you one thing. When Mr. Jones connects with you, those pair of hands that he's got, you know you've been had, and he just about caved in his rib cage that time. Starbuck now unloading some artillery on Jones, and the freight train could be in trouble here as Starbuck unleashes everything he's got, and he's got Rufus R. Jones staggered momentarily. Rufus R. Jones stiffening up on him right now, though, and watch this. A chop into the throat that puts Starbuck back to the canvas. Rufus R., the freight train, moving on Mike Starbuck, and he's got things pretty well under control at this point in time. And he caught him right square in the pectoralis majors, and a wild swinging right hand that puts Mike Starbuck back to the canvas. Off the ropes and a high backdrop. And Starbuck came down partially on the point of that shoulder. Rufus R. Jones, the freight train, came rolling after him. He comes rolling after him again. And the freight train's got it going his way. A headbutt that puts Starbuck back to the canvas again. He got the 3 count. He got the 3 count. So the freight train, Rufus R. Jones, certainly made short work of Mike Starbuck. In fact, he demolished him in a hurry. Well, they're going to turn back, these Nightmares. Jimmy Hart moving into the ring with them. You see, and I got to say one thing about the Nightmares. They had certainly an extensive and very handsome wardrobe, but the wardrobe doesn't make the wrestler. It's just like, the toot of that whistle doesn't make the freight train move. And Mike Jackson is proving this to the Nightmares right now as he has got a death grip on that arm and has been moving most effectively. Good counter, and a good counter by the Nightmare. Good counter again. And Jackson just up and over his man and breaks his concentration, scores the hip toss takedown, and the Nightmare tags up. And so Mr. Jim Hart's going to have to rethink himself just a little bit. Well, a bit of verbiage going on between Mike Jackson and Jimmy Hart. Again, the tag is made. Good hip toss takedown. Jackson got the head scissors and good wing over takedown by Jackson on the second Nightmare. And Hart now is beginning to show he's talking about pulling the mask and all of that, which is a bunch of baloney, frankly. Jackson catches him again. He's keeping these Nightmares busy. Now makes the tag with the Italian Stallion. And the Italian Stallion moves in. Beautiful fireman carry takedown. The Italian Stallion, twice national collegiate wrestling champion. Look at the ride. Aha! Nightmare got away, but look at that Granby roll, and it's the Italian Stallion back on his feet. And you can see the Nightmares complaining about that, but if they know the Italian Stallion, they know that they've got a lot of problems on their hands. Full arm drag and twist, makes the tag with Mike Jackson. Jackson moves in, punishes the deltoids. Reversal now by the Nightmares and a reversal by Jackson. Jackson again tags up with the Italian Stallion. He moves in. Like I said, the Nightmares facing their toughest challenge since coming here to championship wrestling from Georgia. And the Nightmare down in that corner makes the tag. And I overheard Mr. Hart saying, come on, fellas, you got to get organized. They need to do more and get organized. They better get with it in a hurry because Mr. Jackson, and good block by the Italian Stallion. He blocks again. And that time, the Nightmare found himself caught in a full body slam. The second Nightmare charges. He, too, is caught in a full body slam. So the Italian Stallion. And now he's complaining about pulling on the tights. Nothing could be further from the truth. All right, the Italian Stallion. They lock up collar and elbow. The Italian Stallion gets a full arm drag and twist. Makes the tag with Mike Jackson. Jackson, a speedster. Again, the tag is made. Now it's made, and boy, they've got some teamwork going now. They are punishing the Nightmares and not letting them get back to their own corner. Side headlock. Italian Stallion comes on, caught by both of the Nightmares. And the Nightmares now taking advantage of that situation as they double team the snapmare on the Italian Stallion. Got him right square in the face of the flat of the foot. And a headbutt that staggers the Italian Stallion. That staggered him, and that makes me wonder if there was possibly anything in that mask. The Stallion taking tremendous punishment, a lot of percussions to the head. Full body slam by the Nightmare. And he rolls to one side as the Italian Stallion was one step ahead. And Mike Jackson moves into the ring, and it's Mike Jackson exploding on the Nightmares now. Mike Jackson closing in on Nightmare 1, a snapmare that takes him back to the canvas. Drives a knee into the side of the head. It's Jackson now with a side headlock. They're coming off the ropes. Ooh, brother. Jackson caught a knee in the small of the back. Right down around near that lumbar area. They're punishing that area of the back now. Now into the thoracic area, and it is Jackson. Those 26 vertebrae really jolted. And he's got to be in a lot of pain, and that's going to slow him up. Jackson having a little problem standing up now. Jackson flipped into the center of the ring. Again, the tag is made. And so the Nightmares may have found an opening here on Mike Jackson. But it was certainly an ill-gained opening because they caught him from behind. And again, the crowd, very partisan here, picking up a chant for Mike Jackson. Jackson fires to the midsection, fires again to the midsection. Jackson in a lot of trouble, needs to get over and tag up, fires to the abdominal wall of the Nightmare. The second Nightmare moves in behind Jackson, has Jackson up against the turnbuckle. Irish whip into the far turnbuckle. Jackson moves to one side. And so the Nightmare is in trouble, and Jackson explodes with the right hand to the top of the head. It's Jackson now. Irish whip into that far turnbuckle, charges in once again. He flips him into the center of the ring. Jackson catches the second Nightmare coming in. Jackson catches the first Nightmare. Two beautiful drop kicks, another drop kick by Mike Jackson. Jackson delivers a hard right hand to the top of the head of the Nightmare. Off the ropes, and caught him with a foot that time as the Nightmare tried to trip him up. It's Jackson very much in control of the situation now. Jackson catches him coming off and goes for the sleeper hold. Mike Jackson going for the sleeper hold. And the Nightmare in trouble now. The Nightmare in trouble as Jackson keeps the pressure on him. Jimmy Hart out there complaining. And wait a second. The second Nightmare comes off the ropes. And it is, Mike Jackson caught it from behind and a real double cross there. No question about that, a real double cross. They switched partners. This obviously will be reported to the referee, but for the moment, obviously, that decision has to stand. Ox Baker has joined me.
You know, this new organization is talking about dream matches. Well, I can't wrestle on TV, but in these arenas, you're going to see Mr. Reality, Ox Baker, and the Hart Punch.
All right. Well, I'll tell you one thing. He's 6'5" and 311 pounds, and he does move that Hart Punch with an awful lot of authority.
after last week getting a win over Bob Roop, then getting a shot at the TV title, I'm going to make the best of it. I can assure you that. Now, I'm not taking this for granted. I know it's not going to be any cakewalk. I know Bob Roop got that title by beating a tough individual, and I know it's going to be a hard, tough match. And I tell you this, I'll be the first one to admit, I'm not the world's greatest wrestler. I don't know all the moves. I don't know all of these suplexes and all that kind of stuff, but I am known for one thing. I got a pretty dead-gum good right hand right here, and not too bad of a left. And I got a pile driver that has put a few people in the hospital, so with those three maneuvers, I'm looking forward to walking out of this ring just a few short minutes from now with that TV title around my waist, and I'm going to put this crown on my head, brother, and you're going to be looking at the one and only true king of wrestling. I'm looking forward to it, Gordon.
Okay, thank you so very much, Jerry Lawler. Well, there you see them, the National Tag Team Champions, the Hollywood Blondes, Rip Rogers and Ted Oates, the Golden Boy. Hustler Rip Rogers and Miss Brenda Britton. Oh, and by the way, Miss Brenda Britton has complained to me several times about some of the things that you good folks have been saying to her in the arenas and coliseums around the country. And she's very upset when you call her a flea bag, so please do not call her a flea bag. It makes her very, very uncomfortable. All right, Rogers now finds out that Frank Lang is a strong individual indeed. Lang had the superior strength and leverage at that time. Roger Bond moves out now against Rogers. Rogers on a reversal on the arm dragon twist. Bond trying to reverse it. Rogers, by the way, weightlifting champion, bodybuilding champion, now makes the tag with the Golden Boy, Ted Oates. Bond reverses on Ted Oates and tags up. Frank Lang moves back in once again. Lang, superbly built athlete, has quite a background in athletics throughout his high school and college career. Up against those ring ropes. And it is Oates driving the back of the elbow into the pectoralis majors of Lang. Makes the tag with Hustler Rip Rogers. Rogers drives one into the side of the rib cage. There's a snap there that takes Lang to the canvas. Lang rolls to one side, and Rogers suddenly finds himself in a problem. Oh, my, the folks here at the television sports arena are beginning to call Miss Brenda Britton a flea bag. Titch, folks. Shouldn't do that. Front chancery now. Partial front chancery by Bond on Rip Rogers. And as Bond tried to uncork a right hand, it was the Golden Boy, Ted Oates, gets him a full body slam on Bond. Oates had tagged in. Oates, duck under, go behind, has him way belly to back suplex on Bond. And Bond came down partially on that shoulder, and he's got some problems. And it's Rip Rogers moving back into the ring and punishing Mr. Bond. Once again, the tag is made. Rip Rogers and Ted Oates pretty much in control of this situation. If Bond does not get over and tag up, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. And he's having problems getting back to his feet. And you notice the way they're keeping him into their own corner. Bond now trying to get over to that neutral corner, but there's only one corner he's going to find any surcease in at all, and that's his own corner if he can make the tag. Rip Rogers gets him with a side headlock. Rogers tags up again, the Golden Boy, and it's no wonder these two men are the National Tag Team Champions. Perfect coordination and teamwork. And there you see what I'm talking about. Double percussions through the chest of Roger Bond. One from Rip Rogers, one from Ted Oates, and before the tag can hardly be made, he catches him again, a lariat, this time across the throat. And again, a slow, deliberate tag. Ted Oates moving in there. The Golden Boy. There's that DDT. There is the DDT. The DDT that was used so effectively by Jake the Snake Roberts, now being used so effectively by the Golden Boy himself. Bob Rufus joined us here at the desk, and
The fact that this match is even taking place is a travesty. This man beating me last week was nothing but a fluke. All that Jerry Lawler has ever done is come out here, call himself a king. Oh, he's good with his fist. He can't wrestle. All he ever did that made any national headlines was beat up some 150-pound comedian in Memphis. Now, he is not championship material, and I'm going to go in the ring right now and show him why not.
all right, the statement was made by Bob Roop, the national heavyweight television champion, and he seems indeed grimly determined to undermine Mr. Lawler and his title of king, so let's go to the squared circle. One fall. Jerry Lawler moving out against Bob Roop. And Roop now employing a little bit of psychological warfare, if you please. And Roop continues to arbitrate rather than... brother, when they did lock up, it was something else. Lawler missed with a right. And so Roop... Lawler misses, and they lock up once again. Up against, and Lawler misses again, and Roop that time. Humiliating slap across the back of the head, and so Jerry the King Lawler has got some problems here. Lawler is such an affable individual. And brother, Roop is really beginning to show Jerry Lawler the way to go. All right, Lawler bowls him back into the turnbuckle. And a good block, a good series of blocks, and Roop connects with a right hand. And I mean Lawler is being outsmarted at every turn. Roop has ducked away from several punches and countered him and blocked him very well and countered extremely well. Again, they lock up collar and elbow. And Lawler trying to find a way to go. Lawler gets the arm drag and twist on Bob Roop. Roop reverses the situation. Lawler is down to the canvas, and Roop disdainfully just releases his hold. And Lawler now, a serious study of frustration and consternation. Look at those eyes. Trying to figure this one out. And it could be that we're going to see the abdication of the throne. Side headlock. Roop fires him off. Roop drops the canvas, drops him. And Lawler again tried to set him up to use that elbow. And now Lawler really beginning to get frustrated. Slapping that mat in total, utter frustration. And Roop continues his psychological warfare. Roop, by the way, has his bachelor's degree in political science out of the University of Southern Illinois. Wait a minute. That time Lawler scored effectively. Roop got a bit overconfident, and Lawler very quickly seized that opportunity. And Roop now misses with a right hand, so Lawler, showing out two can play at this game. Roop bowls him back into the ropes. Now Roop gets him into the turnbuckle. Good blocks by Lawler, and Lawler scores quickly and effectively into the face of one Bob Roop. And Roop now starts to charge in, and Lawler, I got to say, kept his head. He kept his cool, but Roop looked like he was about to lose his for a moment. Roop now with an arm drag and twist on Jerry the King Lawler. And it's Lawler. You know, we call Ronnie Garvin the man with the hands of stone. Lawler has got some concrete in those hands, too. There's no question about it. And they don't call Lawler the cement mixer for nothing. Watch him as he gets set to move in now. Side headlock now by Bob Roop. Lawler fires him off, and it is Roop that time. And so Lawler now definitely moving ahead. You talk about mental gymnastics. We're seeing chess at its finest here, human chess. And it is Lawler now who has definitely taken the initiative away from one Bob Roop. It's just like sometimes the first half and the second half of a football game. The first half, one team has the initiative and has a roll going. In the second half, you find a completely rejuvenated team coming out. And Lawler, I think, just studied this man and learned him just well enough to where now he's a step ahead. Roop. Now Roop punishing the deltoids and has a full arm drag and twist. Notice the way he's bringing that across his own shoulder, putting extra stress and strain on Lawler. Lawler, an extremely creative man, by the way, a very talented artist. Participates in about every sport known to man. Roop now pounding away, and Lawler fires back. And we've got a slugfest going now. Right hands to the side of the jaw, exchanged by both men, and it's Roop who's backing away. It's Roop who's backing away. Once again, they lock up. Lawler in trouble now as Roop wants to set him for that pile driver, and he does so. And Lawler, who is known for the pile driver. And so now again, the tide has possibly turned. As Bob Roop, the national television champion, knows sir, Lawler's got his foot on the rope. And I'll tell you, Lawler is more than capable of pier sixing it. Referee Nick Patrick count, and it is Lawler caught in the base of the skull. High vertical souffle by Bob Roop. Bob Roop into a lateral press now. Lawler powering out before the count of three. And so the King has got himself some problems here as the momentum is shifted once again. There's the neck breaker by Bob Roop on Jerry Lawler, and Lawler again powers out. This match right now, ooh, brother. That one caught him. And now it's Lawler. Lawler exploding with a series of stinging left jabs and a beautiful right cross that puts Roop back to the canvas. Lawler closing in on him once again. Lawler trying to set him for the pile driver. Roop blocked it very nicely and bowled him back into the turnbuckle. And as Roop started to charge in, Lawler caught him a savant-like blow to the midsection. Chopping right hand to the side of the jaw. Lawler catches him again, but Roop is firing back. Roop brings him up, a full body slam on Jerry the King Lawler. Roop going outside the ring now, moving up on that top ring rope. And it is Roop. As he came down, Lawler caught him in the pit of the stomach. Lawler sets him. He drives him with a pile driver. Caught him with the pile driver. And it is a very pleased crowd here at the Television Sports Arena, and it's Lawler driving that fist into the head. And wait a second, Lawler attacked now by the Nightmares, by the New York Assassins. And so Lawler being set upon by the entire Jimmy Hart entourage. Lawler being driven into the mat. Lawler being pounded down into the mat. And just a minute. Here comes Steve Constance. It is Brad Armstrong. There was outside interference, so Bob Roop will maintain his championship. Jerry Lawler is the victor, but it's by disqualification, so that means that Bob Roop holds on to his title. But if it were not for Jimmy Hart and his entourage, things would have been, in my opinion, entirely different. Well, it's a bitter victory for one Jerry Lawler. But our time is completely gone for this week. We hope that you'll join us again next week at the same time. Until then, this will be Gordon Soley saying so long from the Peach State of Georgia.
Welcome again to Championship Wrestling from Georgia. I'm Gordon Soley, your host, and what an hour we've got in store for you this week. I can assure you that we're going to be seeing the Boogie Woogie Man, luscious Jimmy Valiant in action. Also, the Hollywood Blondes. We'll be watching Bob Roop, the national TV champion, Jerry the King Lawler, Iron Mike Sharp, and the New York Assassins. Jimmy Hart is a pretty well upset young man right now. Mr. Hart has had, it seems like one humiliation after another of late. But all I can tell you is that, frankly, in my opinion, Mr. Hart is getting much of exactly what he deserves. He made a lot of claims and a lot of protests. Last week, if you remember, some of the comments that I felt were basically very untrue. One comment being that Thunderbolt Patterson held him while Ole Anderson slapped him around. I didn't see it that way, and frankly, I don't think you saw it that way. So anyway, I just thought I'd try and make that point while I could. We've got a matchup coming in the ring, so let's go to the ring at this time. It's the Boogie Woogie Man. Luscious Jimmy Valiant moving out against Dale Burnett. One fall, 10-minute time limit. Once again, they're collar and elbow, and it's the Boogie Woogie Man. Up against Roop. He reverses the situation on Burnett. And a good block by Valiant, and he gets him with a good solid right hand, driving him through the canvas. Off the ropes once again, the Boogie Woogie Man catches him in the sleeper hold. He's got the sleeper on him, and so Burnett is going to be hard pressed. He's about the same size as Valiant. Finally makes it... Valiant keeps that sleeper hold on him. And Burnett makes it to those ring ropes, and the referee calling the count now, causes the break. And again, the Boogie Woogie Man closes in. There's a thumb into the throat of Mr. Burnett, and he's coming up mighty slowly as a lot of that air supply has been cut off. And Burnett complaining about the thumb to the throat, and I can't say that I really blame you too much. He has taken a lot of punishment here. Hard right hand, another looping right hand that off the ropes, and it is the back of the elbow catching one Dale Burnett, and you can hear him saying that it's all over. Catches him with that elbow once again, coming off the rope. The Boogie Woogie Man crashes down across the chest, goes into a lateral press, hooks the far leg, and scores the pinfall. And so, the Boogie Woogie Man himself scores the pinfall and takes the measure on one Dale Burnett. And so our opening match very quickly goes to Jimmy Valiant. At 24th, match time is 8:30. NWA World Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair defends his title against the former champion Tommy Wildfire Ricks. It'll be Jimmy Hart's New York Assassins against Ole Anderson and Thunderbolt Patterson. The television champion Bob Roop defends his title against Ronnie Garvin. The Hollywood Blondes face Brad Armstrong and Jimmy Valiant. It'll be Mr. Ito against Jacques Rougeau. Remember, that's Saturday the 24th in Columbus, Ohio at the fairgrounds. To regain that National Tag Team Championship, but all I can say with the events that have been happening lately, a lot of things are coming down, so... well, we'll tell you more about that a little bit later on. But
Gordon Soley, let me tell you what, everything you've been talking about has been a lie, baby. You saw Thunderbolt Patterson hold me, and you saw Ole Anderson hit me and hit me and hit me. Well, let me tell you something, Ole Anderson. You're going to be paid back. Look at my face. My face is still bruised from this. I promise you, Ole Anderson, you and Thunderbolt Patterson, you ain't through with me yet. I'm going to get you at this last thing I do.
Now, wait just a minute. Just a minute.
They held me 2-on-1.
Wait a minute. You're saying they held you 2-on-1.
I'm saying if you saw it with your own eyes, and you know they did.
Just stay here. Stay here, Mr. Hart. Let me ask Jim Reeves, our director, a question right now. Jim, is it possible that we could possibly sometime later in the program get a replay of that incident that occurred last week? It is. Okay.
I hope you see this. You'll know it was 2-on-1 then.
Right, that's fine.
You'll know it is, and the whole world can see it, but I'm going to get even. I promise you that. I'll get even.
Yeah, you'll get even, all right. I'll tell you what, now that I've got Jim Reeves' word that we will be able to get a replay of that later on in the program, as quickly as it's ready, I will have Mr. Hart back out here.
You know what? what, Gordon? I've got my composure back right now, but after all, I was almost put in the hospital permanently by Ole Anderson and Thunderbolt Patterson. You know, like I said, I sit home and I did a little bit of thinking, and I said, you know, I'm going to get even with these two clowns no matter what it takes. If it takes all the money I've got in the bank, I will get even with them. I promise you this. So, Ole Anderson, you and Thunderbolt Patterson, you've been a little lucky. You know, you've been able to win a few matches around certain areas. But I might bring my nightmares. I'll bring my dirty white boys in. I might bring the Gilberts. But no, you know what I've done? I'll pick the phone up and I'll call me a couple of guys that I know. And I'm not going to spill the beans today, baby. I'm not going to let you know who they are because I'm not going to let them train and plan for these two guys. But they are giants. They are big. And they are bad. And they can do a lot of destruction. You know, Ole Anderson, they sit there and say, feed us anybody you want, Hart. Bring your best on. Well, I promise you this, baby. The two men that you're going to see when I'm ready to unleash them on you, like I said, baby, you can run, but you can't hide, Ole Anderson. Thunderbolt Patterson, you can run, but you can't hide. You know, we had him in the ring one time, Thunderbolt, and the only thing I could hear was feet don't fail me now. Well, baby, it took two of them to bring down Jimmy Hart. Two men against me. I weigh 159 pounds. Both of them to go weigh 600. I can't hardly talk. I'm so excited. Like I said, time is running out, Ole Anderson. You and Thunderbolt, time is running out, and that's a promise, baby.
Mr. Hart, before you leave, I would like to bring something to your attention. I am going to be able to play a replay of what occurred last week, and I'll invite you out when we're ready to have that, and we'll see if it was 2-on-1.
You'll see what
Right now, here's a special word about tonight. NWA Wrestling returns to Columbus, Ohio in the fairgrounds Saturday, November 24th. Match time is 8:30. NWA World Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair defends his title against the former champion Tommy Wildfire Ricks. It'll be Jimmy Hart's New York Assassins against Ole Anderson and Thunderbolt Patterson. The television champion, Bob Roop, defends his title against Ronnie Garvin. The Hollywood Blondes face Brad Armstrong and Jimmy Valiant. It'll be Mr. Ito against Jacques Rougeau. Remember, that's Saturday the 24th in Columbus, Ohio at the fairgrounds.
Football players, these ex-basketball players, wanting to get into the true sport of wrestling and telling how tough they are. Me and Mr. Ito can knock you down anytime you get your big mouth in the ring there.
Mr. Baker, I'd like one thing to say to you, just one thing, okay? I'm a professional athlete. I do all my acting in the ring, not with my mouth. And any time you want to get into it...
I want to tell these people, they get to see them people on TV, but Ox Baker is smart and... Ron, will you get out of here? Nobody wants to talk to you anymore. Everybody has to pay to see this fantastic Ox Baker beat people up. And Ron... if you ever get in that ring, I don't care who you were, martial arts champion.
Any place, you, Ito, or anybody, it's an open contract.
You notice how scared that man is. He's like a lot of other guys. When they hear the name Ox Baker and they see this fist and I drive it into their heart, they're going to go down. And the gentleman like I am, I do the right thing. I kick him right in the face.
What can I say about Ox Baker? 6'5", 311 pounds, and he does have a devastating heart punch. But what a match that'd be. Ron Slinker, martial arts expert, catch-can wrestler. That would be something. Let's go to the ring, huh? There you see him, Iron Mike Sharp, and he's moving out against Mike Starbuck. All right. Sharp charges him. Starbuck ducks away. Starbuck ducks away once again. And Sharp complaining. He wants to meet him head-on, and I can't blame him, but Starbuck realizes a head-on confrontation is possibly going to lead to a lot of problems because Sharp does hold a height and weight advantage on him. He misses again. So Starbuck has been really dazzling Mr. Sharp with his footwork, that's for sure. Remember this match, 1 fall, 10-minute time limit, Iron Mike Sharp. Out of Canada. Brother, he is big, he is powerful, has participated in just about every sport imaginable, including, if I remember correctly, the Canadian National Amateur Boxing Champion. Sharp for the side headlock. And it's Sharp noticing the way, and the referee, Scrappy McGowan, calling the shot on that one and admonishing Iron Mike Sharp. Sharp driving Starbuck's head into the turnbuckle, drives it in once again. And so Mr. Starbuck has taken a lot of punishment in that corner. Good block by Starbuck, and it's Starbuck retaliating. Starbuck staggers Sharp, catches him with a right, then a forearm, another forearm, and Sharp has been, well, he's been shaken up. Ooh, brother. As he charged him that time, Sharp drove that knee into the chest of Mike Starbuck. And a forearm across the back of Starbuck. Oh. But hear that one all the way across the television sports arena. Starbuck in a lot of trouble now. He's got him up over those turnbuckles. A clubbing forearm into the chest. And Starbuck has got himself a load of problems here. Starbuck trying to get back through those ropes. Iron Mike Sharp catches him another clubbing forearm across the back. Starbuck down and in a lot of trouble as Iron Mike Sharp has completely dominated the situation, except for one brief flurry by Starbuck. And Sharp goes down that time. There was Starbuck again. Moving to one side, and Starbuck tried to set him for a backdrop, and Iron Mike Sharp was a step ahead of him. Off the rope. Oh. Well, a forearm lariat is exactly what he did with a side lateral press. And that scores the pinfall. And so Iron Mike Sharp is indeed the victor here over one Mike Starbuck. And we can see an argument ensuing there with the referee. I want to take a second right now to talk to Brad Armstrong. A lot of things have been happening in the past week or so. And, well, it's before we talk to Brad, let's take a look at what's going on here at the ring as Iron Mike Starbuck was just hurtled from the ring by Mike Starbuck, rather.